Welcome back. Staying in Osun State, the state resident electoral commissioner has expressed serious concern about the need to strengthen collaboration between the police and the electoral umpire in how to curb vote buying. The electoral umpire, Mr. Segun Agbaje, says INEC can only prosecute politicians who engage in vote buying if security agencies, especially the police, arrest the culprits, as the commission lacks constitutional powers to arrest vote buyers.
It's less than 3 weeks to the Osun State governorship election. Political party leaders and members of civil society organizations and officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC are in this hall in Abuja to evaluate INEC's preparedness for the exercise. The Osun governorship election is the last to be conducted before the 2019 general elections. Hence, the guest lecturer at this event, as well as other political observers, view the exercise as a very critical responsibility that will reflect on INEC's preparedness for the 2019 elections.
Vote buying, card reader, how do we address that? It is true that INEC has publicly avowed that it is going to deal ruthlessly. But the Police Service Commission acknowledged that 35 cases were reported. INEC does not have the power of arrest. It does not have the power of investigation. But INEC has the power of prosecution. What is the legal department of INEC doing?
With the support and contribution of other stakeholders, no effort will be spared to ensure that INEC continues to improve on its service delivery through 2019 and indeed beyond. Ultimately, our goal is a vibrant electoral process, strong electoral governance and institutions, and as well as viral support system that will entrench delivery of free, fair, credible and peaceful elections in Nigeria.
On the sideline of the event, the resident electoral commissioner for Osun State highlights the commission's preparedness to mitigate vote buying during the polls. He, however, seeks strong partnership with the police and other security agencies in order to prosecute politicians who buy votes during elections.
You say we should prosecute. You cannot just prosecute people without effecting arrest, without investigating them, and then charging them to court. That is the stage. The security, the police especially, according to the Electoral Act, must make the arrest, must carry out the investigation, prepare the case file, then pass to INEC. Either we do it jointly, or we allow, or they ask us to do it. But if these level grants or these indices are not put in place, there is virtually nothing INEC can do.
It's less than 18 days to the Osun governorship election and about 164 days to the general elections next year. It is hoped that INEC will perfect all its innovations and help make the elections credible.
The United Kingdom is offering 100 new scholarships to Africa under the Chevening Scholarship Scheme. This was announced by the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Paul Arkwright, at a reception for the beneficiaries of the scholarship in Abuja. This year will see 53 beneficiaries from Nigeria, 33% of whom are women, and 10% of whom are people with disabilities. Our correspondent, Kayla Megwa, reports.
Chevening is the United Kingdom government's international awards scheme aimed at developing global leaders. It is funded by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office and partner organizations. It offers two types of awards, Chevening Scholarships and Chevening Fellowships, whose recipients are personally selected by British embassies and high commissions around the world. This year, 53 Nigerians got scholarships.
My main intent of applying for the scholarship is to gain greater skills in the field of study that I'm actually interested in, which is in energy. As you know, Nigeria has an energy dearth, and I'm looking at supplementing that with projects that I'm able to undertake.
The process started by application last November 2017. I applied for it because I desire to update my knowledge in software development.
Selection process for these 53. The British High Commissioner speaks on the commitment of the British government and why these chevening scholarships are so important.
It's very competitive, I have to say. More than 6,000 Nigerians applied this year, and 53 were successful. So it's a competitive process. It means that we're choosing the very, very best of Nigerian students. This is for a master's degree, so you need a bachelor's degree, an undergraduate's degree first. And this is for a one-year master's degree in the UK, in a university of your choice, on a course that you want to do to help further your education.
The British Prime Minister, in her last visit to Nigeria, promised a partnership of equals between both countries. It is hoped that the skills learnt by these students will drastically improve Nigeria's economy. This will be the last chevening reception in Nigeria by this British High Commissioner. He said categorically that these 32 years of service have been the best job he's ever had. Kayla Magwa, Channels Television News.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control is advocating the urgent need to strengthen risks communication strategies as an effective way to mitigate outbreaks of predictable diseases in Nigeria. The chief executive of the NCDC, Chikwe Ihekwazu, maintains that effectively communicating the risks about predictable disease outbreaks to residents is a good way to prevent and control outbreaks of diseases in Nigeria.
Nigeria has had its fair share of diseases outbreaks in recent times, including the Ebola outbreak that claimed the lives of 8 people in 2014. Since then, other similar outbreaks like the Lassa fever, meningitis and cholera have ravaged various states across Nigeria. For instance, since the beginning of 2018, a total of 5,607 suspected cases of cholera have been reported from Adamawa, Anambra, Bauchi, Borno, Kano, Nasarawa Plateau and Zamfara State, resulting in several deaths.
Somebody died of Lassa fever.
Parts of efforts to mitigate these outbreaks through effective risk communication strategies is the reason why the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and the United Nations Children's Fund is holding this workshop in Abuja.
We need to work with the people that we're actually working for, to work with us in advocating, in informing, in detecting infectious diseases. We have to go out to where the people are, to bring them in, to inform them, educate them, win over hearts and minds.
If we put more effort in communicating to the citizens and all those concerned of the risks that we face, then we are in a position to be able to alleviate the suffering and some of the fatalities that we experience when we have disease outbreaks.
While health experts are advocating the urgent need to strengthen risk communication with a view to reducing fatalities, they are also appealing to government to provide basic amenities for citizens.
The purpose of risk communication is for everyone at risk to be able to take informed decisions to mitigate the effects of the threat and take protective and preventive measures.
To prevent cholera is not rocket science. We need water, we need sanitation, and those are not things we can provide from NCDC.
Meningitis, Lassa fever and cholera are some of the diseases outbreaks that Nigerians have continued to experience year in, year out. It is hoped that effective risk communication will help control these outbreaks going forward.
Throne Autos, an automobile dealing company, has awarded some members of the public cash prizes during a giveaway promo. The grand prize of a Toyota Corolla was presented to the popular Instagram skit maker Jigen, known for his famous punchline, "Shomoage me." Throne Autos, a subsidiary of Throne Group, offers services in bidding, buying and shipping of cars from the United States and Canada to Nigeria.
Throne Autos, a subsidiary of Throne's Group, provides a stress-free service for intending buyers of cars from the United States and Canada, from bidding down to delivery.
People can come to this platform, then bid by themselves on the live screen, exact amount that will charge the charging from the auction is a transparent business that you can go there, you see things yourself, not hidden charges. And from there, the transshipping in, we pick it up from any location it is in the United States, then take it to the port, then to Nigeria.
There's also great benefits for customers who bring in new clients.
If you refer anyone to True Notice and they register with us, a code will be generated for you, and you'll be entitled to some percentage of money from the buyer's fee.
The group showed its appreciation to the general public by earlier organizing a raffle draw and awarding the winner, Abimbola Kazim, popularly known as Jigon, with a Toyota Corolla. Jigon gained fame through his Instagram skit, Shomo Age Me.
I think I'm the happiest man on earth because I never believed this could happen to me again. This year, a lot of things has happened to my life that I cannot imagine. Like, I am the one right here. I came here today with a Marwa, and I'm going home with a car.
Aside from the auto service, Throne Group also offers services in career transport and recently launched a non-government organization called Throne Charity Foundation, aimed at providing aid to underprivileged children.
And now time for the business news of the day. Here is Anne Nwawudu.
You First. First Bank.
Thank you, Ladi. We begin business news tonight with Nigeria's manufacturing data for the month of August showing a higher reading of 57.1, indicating that expansion in the economy has happened at its fastest pace since the start of this year. And that's according to the economic analysis report issued by Vetiver Capital Management. The Purchasing Managers Index report published by the Central Bank also shows all manufacturing subsectors expanded last month. Producer prices were up, but at a slower pace than input prices. And as for exports, there's no noticeable progress. Mobile telecommunication firm MTN has rejected the findings of Nigeria's Attorney General that aims to recover up to $2 billion of tax relating to import duties, VAT, and withholding taxes on foreign imports and payments. According to the telecoms giant, there were previous engagements with the government and all amounts owed had been fully settled. MTN says it's surprised at the reopened case, but it looks to engage with the relevant authorities on the matter. Let's go to South Africa now, where the currency has tumbled today as news of a negative 0.7% growth contraction in the second quarter of 2018 hits financial markets. Africa's most industrialized economy saw its currency down as much as 3.2%, while the yield on government bonds jumped with papers maturing in 2026. The rand slumped to 15.2 on the US dollar, and at the stock market, the banking index fell 4.1%. With this new report, there's a distinct possibility that there will be a downgrade for South Africa by the end of this year. Let's check out activities at the equities market. It has trended northwards as the all-share index inched up by 28 basis points, setting its year-to-date return at a negative 8.5%. Let's hear more from Tosin Additional.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Small-cap listed companies in the financial services sector hold their gains on Tuesday on the local bourse, pushing the composite index higher by 0.28% towards the 35,000 level. Transaction turnover was about 60% better over Monday's margin at 240.46 million shares worth 3.6 billion naira in 3,400 deals. Strong trades were booked across sectors, but mainly on big banks like GTB and Zenith, as well as Access, ICO Insurance, and FBN Holdings. A renewed buying sentiment drove up banking index by 1.41%. Insurance faltered 0.33%, same as consumer goods, while oil and gas at 0.27%. Industrials finished unchanged on the day. Gains posted by small caps like ICO, Jais Bank, and CI Leasing moderated declines by Fitson, Universal Insurance, and PZ Customs. That's the Stock Market Report. I'm Tosin Additional.
Thank you, Tosin. Trading across major markets around the world were also mixed today, with sell pressure as investors in South Africa reacted to the news of technical recession in its economy. That's the numbers for today. Thanks a lot for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Nwawodu. It's back to you, Laddie.
You First. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10, champion Sloane Stephens crashes out of the US Open at the quarterfinal stage. That will be in the sports news. So stay on with us.